Action!
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of All Talk with Mike All. Thanks for joining back in. I'm excited about this next comedian that we have on. Not only is he a very funny guy, I've known him forever. He's also another Oklahoma native like myself. His latest album is called Smooth. He's on the Dry Bar Comedy. You can catch a full set on there. And he's also a featured comic on XM Sirius satellite radio. Please welcome to the show, BrandonVestal. What's going on, Brandon? How you doing?
All right, as good as you can get, I guess.
Yeah. So I've known you for a long time. We actually met in Oklahoma. We both are originally from Oklahoma. When I met you, I think you were a sophomore at OU. When did you start coming up to Jokers?
I would have been a senior at OU.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They wouldn't let you in at Jokers if you were under 21. They wouldn't even let you in.
Yeah.
So I didn't even bother until I was 21.
So you hadn't been doing anything in Norman or anywhere else at all. You waited until you were 21 to make it.
You saw me. You're like the second comic I ever met, and you saw my very first everything.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Because I was at Jokers. And I think that's when Deacon Gray had just started, or we knew him as David or Dave.
Yeah.
That's when he had just started teaching at Jokers. So, yeah. And did you? So I started before I was 20. I think I'm a couple years older than you. My first time I was actually 20. I wasn't allowed in the club when I was there. They didn't know how old I was. So I didn't drink, which was weird. I didn't want to like get in any trouble. But so you started there. Did you move out to LA right after you got out of college, or did you stay in Oklahoma for a little bit?
I didn't even walk across the stage. I bolted after I took my last final. I was gone.
Really?
Yeah. All these people complaining that they didn't walk lately. They didn't get to walk across the stage. I was like, I didn't walk across the stage. I'm fine.
Exactly.
No, I took my last final, and then I think I was on the road 2 days later.
Man, and so you drove out to LA. Was the whole intention the entire time to go out and do stand-up comedy and be a comedian, or was there?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do since I was 7 years old, probably. But I was so shy, I didn't ever told anybody. So when I started doing it at Jokers, none of my friends knew that I was doing it. I was probably doing it 2-3 months before anyone even knew about it.
Man.
And the way someone found out is someone from my high school just happened to be in one of our crowds at one of our open mic shows that we did.
Yeah.
And then it all spread. So.
And then right after you were like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm going to LA.
Yeah, I don't like these. I'm getting out of here.
Now that they know, I'm done.
Well, no, it was like I was doing this whole double life kind of thing where all my friends were going to these debutante balls and all these college parties, and I would just like kind of not go. And I would go to the club. I'd go to Jokers, and that's how big of an influence I was on my friend group. No one ever noticed I was even gone. So that's good.
Exactly. Or you're getting the text like, "Oh man, that was crazy last night. I can't believe you did that." And you're like, "Yeah, that was nuts."
I had a great time.
That was a really good time. It's funny that you bring up that you were shy. I find it amazing how many comedians are actually shy. You know,
I'm still shy. It's it's an issue with, especially living in LA. I'm sure New York's the same way. I'm terrible at selling myself in conversation. Yeah. It's just like.
I was going to say something, but I liked that awkward moments of silence to show the shyness to kind of drive the point home.
Oh yeah. It's never gotten any better. I have no idea how I got a wife or friends or anything. I don't even know.
There is nothing I hate more than after a show standing up by the door to be there when people walk out, and everyone's like, you got to be, and you know, they're always nice. They're always like, hey, you know, we enjoyed you, whatever. But like, I don't want the compliment. I don't enjoy that.
Same way. I'm very awkward. I always say the same thing. Thank you very much. It comes out every single time. I try to say something different. That's all I ever say. And then they try to elaborate, and I just stare at them, and they never come to another show.
So I guess you're not selling any merch.
I don't sell merch. I can't do it. I can't stand there. I can't do it. I'm like, I have the MC promote where they can get the album. If they want it, they can get it. You know, and I don't want to carry all that shit around the country.
Oh. You know what you could sell, because it's one of my favorite jokes that you do. You could sell for merch. You could just sell a bag of chips after the show.
Actually, you know what I think I'm going to sell is I've looked into it, and I think I'm going to do it once if stand-up comedy is still a thing. Now,
right?
I don't even know if I have it anymore. Ponchos, tequila ponchos.
Oh yeah, that's a good joke too. Yeah,
and theirs are cheap, and they won't be that heavy, so I can carry those around.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell them like drugs.
That'd be great though, to watch you at the airport going through TSA, and you're like, can you empty your pockets, and you like 1,000 ponchos.
Or I just have them all on. 40 ponchos on.
That'd be great.
Like, what are you doing? Like, COVID, safe.
Yeah, staying safe. Do I have to take all of these offers? One sufficient. Like, just have you been scheduled back in to book anything, or is everything that you have off the books?
Next weekend, you know, everything got canceled for 3 months, like everybody. And my first live stand-up real show is next weekend.
Where at?
Phoenix.
In Phoenix?
It's
wow. Are you flying in?
Huh?
Are you going to fly in, or are you going to drive out?
I'm in Oklahoma now, so I'm going to fly back to LA Sunday, be there a few days, and then I'll drive to Phoenix. Man. I looked at flights. I was like, I'll just fly. It was like $239 to fly to Phoenix from LA. Like,
that's ridiculous.
I'm going to just drive.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking online.
It's a good drive. It's not a bad drive. It's like 6 hours. It's cool.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, because I was looking online today just for fun. I could fly round trip from Chicago, where I live, to Denver right now for like $100.
Yeah, I'm flying home for $100 from here.
Yeah.
I'm flying Southwest. I haven't flown Southwest in over a decade. I have no idea what to expect with all this going on.
It'll be the same.
Yeah, the ground in the sky, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I've never I stopped flying Southwest a long time ago. Like I couldn't
I started using kayak, and Southwest was always more expensive than everything else after that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend more money to get abused at Southwest Airlines, be treated like
you know you know what I've always noticed? I don't know if you noticed this or not, but like whenever I'm in Oklahoma, whenever I lived in Oklahoma and I was flying to somewhere, it was always like, let's say I was flying to Chicago. Like, it was always cheap to fly round trip from Oklahoma to Chicago or Oklahoma to LA. But it's always super expensive to fly from LA to Oklahoma and back, because you're only going to Oklahoma if you have to, right? Like, people are going to Oklahoma for vacation. Hey, let's go see the bombing memorial. You know, like, that's not something that people do.
I get super depressed. Speaking of that, though, you're in Chicago, right? I got something for your show here. My 8th grade starter jacket. I'm going to wear the rest of the show here. Oh. My Chicago Bulls starter jacket I found in my mom's closet here.
And it still fits. Holy crap.
Oh, it does not. It's huge now, so imagine what it was like when I was in 8th grade and had to hit a growth spurt. Look at this thing.
I
loved this thing. Yeah. This was it right here. You get shot for this.
Hell yeah, you would.
Oh, it's good.
You got to take that back to LA with you, man. You can't be leaving that in Oklahoma.
On stage.
Holy crap, that's the best.
I can hold all kinds of stuff.
I'm glad you brought up basketball because I'm assuming like me, the one thing you're missing more than anything now, other than being on stage performing, is not playing basketball. Dude, I haven't played basketball since March 16th was the last time I played basketball.
I haven't played since February because I was on the road when all this happened. So, yeah, I'm jonesing bad, man. And I hurt my ankle real bad in the last game I played. Yeah. And it's still kind of jacked up. But I don't care. I'm going to play as soon as I can.
Yeah, as soon as I can. I'm actually going to play golf this weekend for the first time.
Yeah, I'm playing golf in 5 years. And I'm going Friday. It's going to be disgusting.
That ought to be great. Take your starter jacket. Everyone will forgive you.
Yeah. You know, the wind's going to be blowing 100 miles an hour because it is every day since I've been here.
Oh, man. So one of the things that I've had fun. Oh, before I get into that, talking about shows, I was on your website because you said you had the show. I noticed that you have a show booked in, I think it was October. I didn't write the date down. October or November on Norwegian Cruise Line. Are you keeping that?
Oh, no, I think that's done. I was actually on a cruise when this happened.
Yeah.
I got stuck on it for an extra 4 days, not knowing if I was going to get off or not. And they made us do more shows. People had seen me for a week. They'd seen all my stuff that I'm able to do on a cruise ship because you're not able to do everything, you know. And so basically the last show, I didn't do any material. I just had to talk. And like I literally got my phone out where I keep my joke ideas and just started scrolling through and like you guys want to talk about, and I would try out ideas. I actually got a few ideas out of it. It's good, but that was terrible.
What was the feeling like on the ship at that point? I'm surprised people are even, I guess there's nothing, you might as well go laugh. I mean, there's nothing else to do. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they were great because they were stuck too, but they're on vacation still, so they don't really care. Like, we don't want to go.
Yeah.
Now we have a reason to stay, and we don't have to pay. But,
right.
But I was ready to get out. I almost jumped off, and I didn't care. They wouldn't let us back into Puerto Rico. That's where we're supposed to port, and Puerto Rico wouldn't let us in. And I guarantee it was because you remember a few years ago we wouldn't help them with that hurricane.
Oh yeah,
they didn't get enough money, so they're like, "Yeah, what's up now? Get out of here."
Exactly. It's. I think you should turn around. You should turn around. Head the other way. That's crazy, man. I didn't know you were out there when. Do you do cruises often, or is it just kind of?
I do about 8 weeks a year. That's all I can do. And that's 8 weeks too many for me personally, but the money's good. And the shows are okay. The shows are fine. But it's just, you are cut off from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked to,
it's tough.
Yeah. I've talked to a couple of different comedians, Nate Weatherup and Lou Johnson. Lou does almost only cruise ships now. He loves them. You know?
Yeah. Some people love them. They're on there 30 weeks a year. I'm like, I don't know how that's insane.
Yeah, that's too much, man. Like, I don't know though, man. I have 4 kids. I might enjoy it. Like,
you might like it. If you like your kids, it sucks. If you don't like your kids, it's probably awesome.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, before this whole lockdown and everything, I loved my kids. Now, I mean, they're great.
Well, that's why we're here. Our kids' school is supposed to start back up in June, and they were like, "No, not going to happen." So we just got in the car, came to Oklahoma because we're like, "I can't." She's trying to work. Jackie's trying to work, and I'm just too impatient to have the kid all day. So,
and you guys drove straight through?
Yeah.
What is that, about 14 hours?
18 and a half hours.
Woo.
Yeah. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I remembered.
How's the kid in the car? Can he handle long stretches?
He did pretty good. I got to say, I was dreading it because he's terrible everywhere else, but he did pretty good.
Yeah, I've got 2 of my 4 get car sickness. And when I mean car sickness, I don't mean like, oh, I don't feel good. I mean like we're changing clothes type of.
You can, Jackie, my wife, and my son, if we're going over the hills in LA, they start to get sick. It's very annoying.
It's so annoying.
It's like, I didn't make the road. This is the way we get home. This is how we.
Right. This is.
I don't know, and they're like, oh, get out and walked it. I don't know what to tell you. This is the roads they made.
I did not put this road here, and I did not put this hill here. Neither one of those were mine.
I didn't help. All I do is drive on it. All right. If you got a problem, call the city government, but they're going to be busy the next few months. I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with a white lady who wants to go across on a smooth road.
So it's funny that you bring up your wife, because when I was Googling you, I typed in your whole name, BrandonVestal. You know how like you get a lot of things that, like suggestions that will drop down afterwards. Mm-hmm. In Google, if you type in BrandonVestal, the very first one that comes up is BrandonVestal, wife.
Really?
Yeah. Not comedian, none of that normal shit. Wife. I'm like, who was wanting to know about Brandon's wife? Like,
yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
How many people have to look at that to get it at the top?
I don't know, man. How many views do you have? How many views do you have on your dry bar? That might be
a lot.
Yeah. I did notice I watched just a couple of clips from a while ago, and several of your clips are over 100,000. I don't know what the
actual dry bar clips. Some of them are over 6 million.
Nice. Yeah.
I haven't gotten anything, but it's nice. It's nice to say.
Yeah. Well, did you get anything out of being a featured comic for XM and Sirius? Like, did you get?
I just got a bunch of people hitting me up.
Yeah.
Well, I got a relationship with Sirius now, which is good.
Yeah, that's good.
So that helped because they featured the album. It was of December. It was the featured album last December. So
yeah, December 19 or December 18?
December 19.
December 19.
Oh no, December 18. December into January. It was like December 18th to January, something like that.
Yeah. Are you working?
You're going to be the featured album. I was like, oh, what does that mean?
It means you're going to get 37 new followers.
Yeah, this means we're going to play it a lot, and there's some random people going to send you weird messages, and that's about it.
Right. How do you feel about dick pics? Because you're going to get them. Actually, it's funny. That's a good segue into my next thing. I didn't even plan it that way. When I was Googling you, you have an IMDb page.
Oh, God. I know exactly what you're going to say.
One of your credits is on Dust Up. Do you know the name of that character?
Yeah, I do know the name. It's like Hand Job Guy or something like that.
Hand Job Getter.
Getter. Yeah, my manager was looking at that. I don't do acting. I don't want to be an actor. I don't care about that stuff. But I did that. And my manager was like, do you want to get that off there? We should get that off there. I'm like, hell no. You keep that off.
You keep that on.
You keep it on.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because do you know what the listing is after that? Directly under that? It's Porter's 2 men and a sex doll.
I don't even know what
you played a character, I guess, named Stephen Allen.
I remember doing that, yeah, but yeah. I don't remember the sex dolls part.
Yeah, it was called.
Let's just say that was in for a couple of days and out. Never think about it again.
Yeah, it's so funny listening to you talk right now because I just saw you. What was that? December out in LA, and it was cool getting to hang out with you and do a show with you, watch you perform. But it's funny talking to you now with you being in Oklahoma. You got your accent back in 2 days you've been back. Like it's
really? Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah,
it snuck back because you didn't have it out in LA.
Really didn't.
Yeah,
it comes out. I don't know what makes it come out because I talk to people and they're like, "Where are you from?" And I tell them, they're like, "Is that a Southern accent?" I go, "I don't know." They're like, they try to figure it out. I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
it's Oklahoman laziness. I don't know. Finished word.
Oh man. How's it gone in Oklahoma? What's it like being there, like compared to LA? Is like everyone, like, are people still wearing masks or are they just going about their business?
It is extremely optional, apparently. It is like,
really?
It was like coming from the nanny state in LA, you couldn't do anything without a mask. Even walking down the street around my neighborhood, you were supposed to wear a mask.
Wow.
Then you get out here and it's just I've seen like 3 masks, people eating in restaurants. I mean, it's like I went to a different country that's free.
Do you wear a mask when you go out or no?
I do because my parents are older, so I didn't want to kill them.
Yeah, you don't want to have that on your on your
they pretty much
resume.
stay home. They've been staying home, but I've just been I'm bored to death, so I just go out I'm going to play golf. That's how bored I'm going to be. That's how bored.
Did you even bring your sticks, or are you borrowing?
Yeah, I got a friend's gonna let me use his.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. It's so bored that you're going to play golf.
Yeah.
Because golf is boring. Well, but you're not.
Because I don't. It just pisses me off. So I used to play all the time. Started playing in 6th grade and just burned myself out on it. So now I have no urge to play. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. So why is it the time restraints? Like, why would you pick basketball over golf? Like, I love basketball, but if I had a choice, I would probably pick golf every time.
Oh, no way. I like basketball. I just like playing basketball.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It's way more fun to me than golf. Because I can be consistently good at basketball. Can't be consistently good at golf. And all I have to do is buy shoes every once in a while and then
That's true.
I was looking around because I had to go, I don't have any golf stuff here. So I went to buy the little things like a glove and stuff like that. And so looking around at clubs. Have you looked at clubs lately? How much they cost?
Not lately. Yeah.
One drive, like $600?
Yeah.
$600 to infuriate yourself because you can't use the thing.
The driver that I have, this is how old my driver is. So my wife and I just celebrated our 16th wedding anniversary. Right? Let's see, the year that we got married, so it would have been December of 2004. My company's having a holiday party and they're raffling off stuff. Well, they have, my name gets pulled or my number gets pulled. They have a huge, beautiful knife block set and a driver. And I'm sitting there and like we try it and my wife is like, you better get that block of knives, right? And I was like, we just got married. We just got one. I was like, we've got knives. I was like, I don't have a driver. You gotta let me get the driver. Like this driver is gonna end up saving us a ton of money. And so like people are watching like me and my wife at this holiday party, like I won, I got the driver and I still have it. We don't have those same knives from when we got married. So.
You're using the driver to cut meat?
Exactly. I use it to tenderize my meat.
You know, you got to pass it around the table to cut your steak.
Exactly. That's why I had so many children to help me cut my steak. Everyone gets a turn with a butter knife.
Did you meet your wife in Oklahoma, or did you meet her when you moved to Chicago?
I met her in Oklahoma. So yeah, we met in Oklahoma, and then she moved to Denver.
Oh yeah, you went to Denver first. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I had to stop in Denver. We went Denver and then Chicago. So and Denver's great. I love Denver, but
Denver's got a great comedy scene.
Great comedy scene.
That's a great scene to come up in if any young comedians listening.
Yeah, I was very lucky to have I started up in Oklahoma, but then to move into Denver being my next first real entrance into working and traveling. Because was who?
Was Dave there when you?
No, Dave came up 6 months, a year after I did. He came up and actually lived with me for 6 months and then got his own place. But yeah, but Denver's great, man. Some of the best comedians coming up out of there, and Comedy Works is, I tell people all the time, that's a top 5 club in the country.
Easy, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. You don't come east very much. I mean, I know you did
I do a ton of college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, not as much anymore. I think I'm getting too old for it. But can you imagine trying to do a college show now? I don't even know what that's going to be.
No, I couldn't.
It was hard enough the last decade. I can't even imagine now.
Yeah.
It's going to be like.
God, that's not going to. that's going to be difficult. Colleges are going to be hard, I'm sure.
It's hard, period, because they're so much younger than you. They don't have any life experience. Half of them are in their pajamas during the show. It's just a disturbing thing.
Well, you don't talk about your kid much in your stand-up. I mean, you clearly talk about being married and having a kid. I mean, that kind of stuff doesn't always go over.
I don't talk about any of that in a college show because they don't care. They don't want to hear. I don't talk about it in LA either. LA,
oh yeah,
they don't want to hear that shit. They don't care.
Yeah. I realized that when I was out there and I started doing my kid stuff, and they were just kind of like,
you did. Yeah.
They're like, I'm like, oh, as soon as I mentioned kids, I fucking lost them.
Yep.
We're like, oh, and that's the thing too. Like I write what I know, and that's what I know is my kids right now. So, although I'm tired of writing about them at this point too, like just.
Well, the thing about writing about kids is it's hard to come up with original stuff. I think that's not been beat to death. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, I've got 4 kids, and people are like, Gaffigan's got 5. So what?
Gaffigan's got 5. And 7 HBO specials. So.
Yeah, exactly. Have you hit any of your favorite restaurants being back in Oklahoma? Do you have any that you're like,
I don't know if any of them were there when Charleston's was here when you were here.
Mm-hmm.
Love that place. But mainly the barbecue places. I got a few of them that I have to hit.
What my big place is Brahms. Are you a Brahms guy?
Had Brahms today. Yep.
You really?
On the list. Brahms, Taco Bueno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Charleston's. It used to be Outback, but now they have Outbacks in LA. They didn't have Outback Steakhouses in LA for a long time.
Really?
I love Outback Steakhouse. That's the shit.
You know what? Everyone's got a chain. My chain that my wife and I like to go to is Chili's. We like that's.
I like the Chili's is my on the road place.
Yeah.
Because they're always in air. Well, they used to be in airports. They're phasing them out now.
I wonder why that is. Like,
I don't know. They keep replacing them with the fancy. Places, and I don't want to eat there.
Yeah. Have you flown through Newark lately, out in New Jersey? Like in the last probably 3-4 years?
Yeah.
They have. I don't know if it's all the terminals, but I know like at least in the United side or the American side, like the middle of it's like all posh with like nice seats and it's all fancy and you can order sushi and stuff. And I'm just like, man, I just want a burger. Like, do you have a burger? Like,
remember there used to be, I could get a Taco Bell? You can forget about that.
Oh yeah.
That Minneapolis airport they remade. I don't know if you've been in that one lately.
Mm-mm.
But that's all. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
All nice stuff.
Yeah. The United wing in O'Hare is nice. The other one's not so much. I actually flew Spirit down to Miami.
Bill.
Oh my God. That carpet is from like 1964. And it's got like, you can see like the marks in the carpet from everyone's like roller bags. It's just, it was horrible. That's when, that was the trip that I was like, you know what? I'm never flying Spirit ever.
They get you, man. It looks cheap at first.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. You're like, this is fantastic. And then, I mean, I don't even remember, you're like sitting straight up.
Yeah. It's the most, like you're in 4th grade again.
I mean, you're almost leaning forward. It's so straight.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I realized too about like flying Spirit is it so quote unquote cheap, you know, that everybody's flying on it and it's all the people that don't fly on a regular basis and don't know how to fly. It's like, you know, when you fly United or American, like no one's wearing flip-flops usually, like, and they go to their seat and they can put their stuff directly above them. And like when the plane boards, you know, or when it lands, you know, like people just kind of get up and leave and like, it's so much easier. And then you ride Spirit, like on that flight to Spirit, like there were people, like they were partying. They were going to Miami, people yelling Gas Queen the entire time. Some guy was like, I'm going to bomb this plane. I'm just like, this is.
We're never going to land.
I'm like, great. somewhere over
Yeah, it's
Atlanta,
like,
he yelled bombing.
what was that George Clooney movie where he traveled all the time a few years ago? That's
Oh
how I am
yeah.
for I don't remember the name of it, but
Yeah, no.
he had it down to such a science. That's how I am.
Yeah.
I'm sure every comedian is. And then you see other people who just try, like, I know I can approach the security line. Well, now I have TSA pre-check, but which is the greatest thing besides.
Yeah.
But I was to the point, like, no, I'm not getting behind. I can see where that's going. I'm not getting behind them. I'm gonna go over here because they got kids. I'm over here.
You know what's great though? Like I found the good thing. One of the good things about having 4 kids, when you get in line at the airport with all 4 kids, I'd say 9 out of 10 times someone just comes and takes you and is like, here, let's just get you through. And they like they take you over to TSA pre-check and just like get you out of the line.
One of my biggest, what I was most excited about having a kid was being able to get on the plane first. Because I've been flying for years, and it was always, if you have a kid, come on. That just stopped.
They stopped it.
Yep. Now it's like in the middle somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why'd I even have this kid? Now I'm stuck with this kid for the rest of my life, and I can't even get on the plane early.
Exactly. You're like, I have a kid. Can I at least get on before the, triple silver whatever that like it doesn't. It's not. Come on, this guy's not platinum. How is he getting on before me? Like
I just got that global entry before all this went down, so I'm excited to use that.
Yeah. Before you started traveling all the time for comedy and flying, were you ever scared of flying? Did it ever bother you? Oh, really? Not a flyer?
It was terrifying to me, actually, because I'd never flown up until college. Really, flown once maybe. And then college, we went to Cancun. I was terrified. And then the first few years of living in LA, flying back and forth, because I wasn't really flying for comedy yet that much. That no gigs. But you fly back to the whole time. I'm just like, having to, I'd have to drink before the whole deal, all that stuff, sleeping pills, the whole thing. Now, like, take it down. I don't give a shit. Let's go. Let's just go.
Yeah, flying never really bothered me. I'm fine with it. I do not do well in tall buildings. Like, get me over 40, 50 stories and I start freaking out, man. Like,
really?
And every time, and that's the thing that sucks about living in Chicago is every time someone comes to visit, they're like, hey, let's go to the top of the Willis Tower. And I'm like, hey, it's the Sears Tower. Don't call it the Willis Tower.
Is that the one that has the glass that does that thing?
No, that's the Hancock.
I won't do that. That's insane.
Yeah,
but I've been to the top of the U.S. Bank building in downtown L.A. to not the very top floor, but the next to top floor, which is like, I think it's 70 some stories. And you get kind of, I don't know, it's messed up.
Dude, I left a sales meeting in New York one time. I was in the, what's the name of that family that owns all the magazines? I can't remember their name now, but they have this gorgeous building and it overlooks Central Park. And I'm on like the 60th floor, something on that, like this corner office, beautiful, doing this sales call with them. And it's me and my boss. And I just look over and they asked me a question. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm leaving. That's what I said. And they were like, they're like, what? My boss is like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I thought I could do it because we're going to be at a sales meeting. I'm like, I cannot stand heights, and just looking out over the vast nothingness of the park makes me realize how high I am. Like I couldn't do it. Like we were at the top of the Hancock once. I surprised my wife for our first year anniversary and took her to the top of the Hancock for dinner on the 95th floor. 95th floor. I was like, I could get through it. When they found out it was our anniversary, they like put us on the window on like the north side. So there's no other tall buildings. It's just vast nothingness. And like, I'm sitting as far away from the window as I can. In like the first 30 minutes, I had drank 3/4 of a bottle of wine and I couldn't do it.
Oh, hey, you don't want to get tipsy up there. That's even gonna make it worse.
It did not help. It did not help. I had family come visit one time too, and they were like, let's go to the top of the Hancock. And I'm like, fuck, all right. So we go up and we all order a drink, and I order like a Bloody Mary. And I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go. And they haven't even put their straw in their drink yet.
Well, that's not like I don't really mind it as long as I'm just in the building, but like at the Stratosphere in Vegas, those people doing that stuff off the side of that's no.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody to keep maintenance on that thing enough for me to get on that shit. Are you crazy?
Yeah, and what's crazy is like I've been up to the top of the Stratosphere and fuck that. Especially like when you can feel the roller coaster going around and everything. But what's crazy is like airplanes don't bother me. And I think the reason is like, like if I'm at the top of the Sears Tower, I can get down. Like there's no need to be up here. I can be down. But like if I'm in a plane, like, yeah, this is what am I going to do? I'm stuck in a metal tube doing 500 miles an hour.
I didn't like flying because you don't have any control over the situation at all.
That's true.
Jerk off flying the plane, had a bad day with his girlfriend or whatever, or whatever the hell, he could just take it down. You don't. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
This guy had a bad day, so we're all dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also does. I mean, we both grew up in Oklahoma. I mean, for the longest time, the tallest building in Oklahoma was what, 50 stories or something like that.
Oh, yeah, they got the Devon Tower now, which looks
the Devon.
Insane.
It does. It looks like it should be in like the United, in Abu Dhabi or something. Like it doesn't look.
Someone pointed out to me, it looks like if you look from a certain angle, it looks like Oklahoma City's flipping off Texas. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I like it now.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense now.
Kind of totally does make sense. Yeah.
There's nothing more oilish than building that building in the middle of Oklahoma. Like, look at this shit.
Right.
Look how much money we got. Look at that shit.
Look how much money we made on oil.
Yeah.
And now we're going to flip you off. That's funny. I'd never thought about it. Do you remember how many stupid like Oklahoma versus Texas jokes that like, oh my God, like those stupid street jokes of how bad Texas sucks?
They were mostly directed towards us, but yeah.
Yeah.
The ones I remember anyway, the ones that hurt.
Yeah, the ones that cut deep. Here's the thing that I miss most about Oklahoma and football. I miss Nebraska being in the Big 12.
It's
just, yes.
I like Nebraska fans. I had a good time with them when they would come, when you'd go there.
Dude, they know how to party. They know how to party.
Were fun. It was always good. It's not like, it's a good time, but now we never play. It sucks. I miss it.
Yeah, I miss them. And one of the reasons, like I'm a big University of Michigan fan as well. I'm an Oklahoma State fan and a University of Michigan fan. And I told anybody that would hear me, I'm like, I don't really care. I know. I don't know why I'm an Oklahoma State fan. I was a Barry Sanders fan. So, but in all fairness, I do have a Billy Sims autograph. That's just because he went to
That's my favorite barbecue place, is Billy Sims Barbecue.
It's damn good barbecue. Damn good barbecue. Well, I was not a fan of Billy Sims at OU, but I was a big fan of Billy Sims at Detroit. I'm a Lions fan. But I told anybody that listened when Colorado left, like, whatever. But when Nebraska left and went to the Big Ten, I was like, they're never going to be relevant again. They're not Big Ten.
They can't recruit with the big dogs of the Big Ten.
No, they can't.
They had no tradition there. If they could have stayed, I'm sure they used to recruit Texas, I imagine.
Yeah. They've sucked ever since they left. So, oh well. I mean, I don't have any room to talk. Oklahoma State hasn't been exactly good, ever.
But your coach's hair is fantastic.
It's great, dude. I don't care what anybody.
I don't like Oklahoma State, but I like Gundy just because he doesn't give a shit, and I like that.
Right?
He said he did that just to embarrass his kids. So like, I'm in on that every time.
Yeah.
To have the balls to keep a mullet for a year is fantastic.
That's fantastic. Speaking of embarrassing your kids, how old is your son now?
He'll be 5 in August.
So you're not quite to being able to embarrass him.
No,
on a regular. Yeah. I can embarrass my 10-year-old and my 9-year-old, and that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
He's smart though. He knows how to negotiate. Like he'll ask for 4 snacks, 4 cookies, because he knows he can end up with at least 2 probably in that situation.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive, actually.
That is really good.
But
that is really good.
He started dropping some F-bombs the other night. And you know, you don't want to laugh, but his timing was so good.
Did he use them in the right context as well?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's
my
even
wife
better.
dropped something out of the refrigerator. She was trying to, and he just came around the corner. He's like, "Oh, fuck!" Like, just the look on his face, his hands up in the air. I was like, "Bravo, young man, bravo!" And then he saw how happy I was. Like, I'm gonna lie, I was proud. I was so proud, just of the timing. You know how it is.
Yeah.
The timing is everything, and that he nailed it so much. And I started laughing and clapping, which I probably shouldn't have done. So then he just started repeating it. You know how that goes. And I finally had to tell him he can't say that, but it was so good, so good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've had to. I've done that several times with the girls where like they've said it the one thing and I start laughing and then they just start pouring it on. So yeah,
and
they're smart.
Scared me is how he chased that laugh once he got it. I'm like, oh no, you need to be into math or some shit because you don't want to.
You don't want.
You need to go after mommy's math skills and leave this shit alone.
Yeah, speaking of math skills, like my 3rd grader, she brought me her homework the other day because I'm doing all this e-learning stuff right from home.
Oh yeah, you have to teach.
Man, she brought me fractions, and I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know this stuff.
I've already decided that's when I teach him how to use Google when he comes to me with that problem.
Well, hey man, we do. There's a whole production crew. I do a thing towards the end here that I like to call ambushed. Speaking of kids, inside this envelope are some words that my daughters have written down, and I have no idea what's in here. And I'll pull it out, and we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
We just talk about the word?
Yeah. So the first word is high school.
Loved it.
You loved high school?
I did. I'm one of the rare ones. I loved it.
What did you love about it?
Everything. Just a good time, I thought.
Yeah. Did you play any sports in high school? Basketball or anything? Any of the teams?
Played basketball, and golf was probably my best sport. So, got tons of pussy because of that.
There you go. Did you letter? Do you have a letter?
Yeah. Yeah. Deal with that, ladies.
I know. Where did you go to high school, if you don't mind?
Altus. I grew up in Altus, Oklahoma, so just Altus.
Oh, wow. For those of you who don't know where Altus is, it's not too far from Tiger King.
No, it's the opposite corner.
Oh, it is the opposite corner.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
The southwest corner. Yeah, you're thinking about
southwest corner.
I think you're thinking
I was thinking about Ada. Yeah. So your friends and everybody out in LA that know you're from Oklahoma, were you tired of getting Tiger King questions, or did you even watch it at all?
A lot of those. Got a lot of Tiger. Yeah, a lot of Tiger King, and anytime anything weird happens, I get calls.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, like, this goes with everything that's going on right now, but when a few years ago they caught that fraternity at OU doing that race thing on the bus, and I saw the bus part, and I was like, oh shit, don't be mine. Please don't be mine. Please don't be mine. But it wasn't. But it's like, oh shit. So I got about a ton of calls for that. Oh, I went to go play basketball with a bunch of comedians the next day, and they're all,
that was SAE, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it was SAE.
My fraternity house got struck by lightning and burned down a few days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Who were you? What's your fraternity?
Delta Tau Delta.
Delta Tau. So I never went to college, but after high school I lived in Norman for a while, and I was friends with SAE, a whole bunch of SAE guys, and we would sit out in the front yard of the SAE guys' yard and hit golf balls down at the Fiji's, Mercedes, and BMWs.
We hit golf balls at the Fiji's too. They were our big rivals, so we would get to the roof and hit golf balls. Yeah, that was awesome. pure American fun. Is all
Yeah,
that is. Hitting golf
exactly.
balls in other people's houses is just good.
But that's. I felt like because I did that, like I got a college experience. Like I got.
Well, people hated high school and loved college. I was kind of opposite. I loved college, I guess, but I wasn't, because I'm shy, I wasn't
Right.
good at college. So,
Yeah.
At Altus, I knew everyone growing up, so it was much easier to do stuff. You know what I mean? That makes sense?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got in here. This will be a good one. Shoes. So other than, because we had this conversation when I was out in LA not too long ago, I know we're both big fans of having like the right basketball shoes, like spend money on the basketball shoe, right? Like it's important. You spend money on other shoes, or you just whatever, this is fine and off I go?
No, I'm pretty snooty when it comes to shoes. I'll spend money on shoes. Yeah, shoes and jackets are my things.
Well, I can tell by the starter jacket. I mean,
come on.
I'm a
Last Dance. Last Dance.
Did you enjoy The Last Dance?
Oh shit, man, it was so great.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe like how controversial it was. Like, people were just like shitting on Jordan.
I'm sure you knew a bunch of the stuff too. But I kind of knew most of the stuff.
Yeah.
But I still love it because he was so fantastic. And
I've probably said this 2 or 3 times now on the show, but still, to the day I die, my favorite thing that I learned and saw on that documentary was when he was in Burbank filming Space Jam, and it had that basketball court, and it was all those young dudes. Like, to be a fly on the wall. Come on, a pickup game with no refs, call your own foul with NBA players. Like, holy shit, that must have been amazing.
My favorite part, and I knew this about Jordan because I'd heard the stories before, but it's still my favorite thing about him, was that he would sit on the hood of his Ferrari and smoke cigars as the other team showed up and talk shit to them as they got off the bus about who's going to guard him. That's so, man. And they get scared. How awesome is that to be able to do somebody?
My favorite shit talking of all times is a story. I forget who it was, but some guy was talking just mad trash to Jordan. I can guard you. I'm going to shut you down. You can't guard me, blah, blah, blah. While they're playing, and Jordan just looks at him and goes, "You're wearing my shoes." like, what do you say to that, dude?
I always wondered that about the NBA. Like, how do you pick whose shoes you wear? Because that's weird to me.
That is kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, trying to get someone you don't like, but you're wearing their shoe. I don't know how that works.
I wear LeBrons right now. I tried the last Paul George, who, by the way, Paul George is probably my favorite player in the NBA. I love
that guy.
Paul George. I know you have issues with it.
I did love his shoes though. His second shoes. Or the first ones and the second ones were the shit, and I loved them, but I had to throw them away when he did his bullshit. I threw them away. They were perfectly good shoes. I threw them away.
You hated him that much for leaving.
It pissed me off that much. Don't get me started on Kevin Durant. I mean, that's a whole nother level of hate. But Paul George I don't hate Paul George as much as I hate Kevin Durant. But I never wore. But right now I have, whose shoes do I have right now? I don't even know because I got them right before we weren't able to play anymore. Those Westbrooks. Got the new Westbrooks.
Okay. Yeah.
They're pretty good. The Giannis. I got Giannis's too. Those are good.
Oh, do you? Those look really good.
Yeah, they're good.
I got the LeBrons because they're the low top, and I found that I like playing in the low top better than a high top. But now that I'm 45, I'm like
45.
Maybe I should get a higher top shoe or at least get some ankle braces or something.
It weirds me out when people play in low top shoes. I'm not used to it, so it's just weird to me.
Yeah,
like, ankles are gonna snap in half. But
yeah, the last LeBrons are comfortable as fuck, but that's just me. All right, let's see one more. Let's do one more before we get out of here. Coffee. You a fan of coffee?
Nope.
No? Are you caffeine at all?
Probably drank coffee one time. I didn't like it.
What about, do you drink any kind of caffeine? Like, are you an energy drink guy or anything?
I don't do energy drinks because my family has a real big heart disease problem.
Yeah, you should probably stay away.
My dad's had like 9 heart attacks. So my dad would fit well in Chicago. He's like one of those guys from those Chicago sketches that just keeps having heart attacks.
Yeah.
So I try to stay away from those, but I do like Coke.
Yeah. Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Pepper, and cocaine.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got no problems with cocaine. Yeah, I got to worry about my heart condition, so I just do cocaine. That's one of the crazy things. Like, I don't think a lot of people knew that about Mitch Hedberg. Like, he was doing all those drugs and everything. He had a fucking heart condition and knew he had a heart condition, man. That'll fucking tell you something about addiction. That was probably, I think he was probably one of my, he's definitely a top 5 comedian.
Yeah, I caught him at the Improv in LA probably not long before he died. So I got to see him live. But
yeah, I got super lucky. I was at Comedy Works and he was on, and I saw him twice at Comedy Works. First time he was sober, the second time he wasn't. The second time I was there, was actually hanging out with his wife in the green room. And I heard this huge thud on stage. And all of a sudden, there's like 20 minutes left in the show. Mitch comes running into the green room with 20 minutes left. Some chick in the middle of a blackout in the second row throws her rocks glass at him. And he's so fucked up that he freaks out and leaves and comes running to the back. And I'm sitting there like, oh, what the fuck? And his wife's trying to calm him down. The MC of the night, Chuck Roy, comes running in, and Chuck's like, Mike, there's 20 minutes of show left. You got to go back out. I'm going to do some time. I need you to do some time. And I was like, fuck off. Like, I am not, I am not A, following Mitch Hedberg, B, following Mitch Hedberg after he just got a glass thrown at him. Like, I'm not, and I was still relatively new. Like, I was still pretty green. Like, I think looking back on it now, should I have gone? Probably. But I was like, I was still relatively green at that point. I was like, fuck.
My first year in LA, I was up at the Laugh Factory doing their open mic. You sit outside all day to sign up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was about to go on to do I think you got 3 minutes, maybe 4. I don't even remember. And this was when Dane Cook was blowing up. Like, he was becoming, he was already pretty big, but he was hitting that super level. And I was about to go on stage, and they come up to me and go, hey, Dane's going to go up real quick because he's going to work out his Tonight Show set. He's only going to do like 5 minutes. He went up there, destroyed the place for about 18 minutes, just destroyed it. I mean, just women going crazy and shit. And then I had to go up there with my terrible 3 or 4. Oh, it sucked. It sucked. I don't remember people listening. They were all talking about his set. They're like, this is great.
I watched Stephen Wright do that at Comedy Works as well. He was doing a show in Boulder, and the night before he stopped into the open mic at Comedy Works. It was like, hey, I'm just going to do like 5 minutes. But it was funny. I was like, how how many people are going to be in Denver going to be walking around tomorrow talking about how they opened for Stephen Wright? Well, hey man, thanks for hopping on and spending some time with me. It's good to catch up and make sure everybody's doing okay. I call it kind of my wellness check. So,
all right.
Is there a website, anything you want to promote? Twitter, any of that kind of stuff?
I do mainly Instagram and Facebook. I don't really mess with Twitter that much, but it's just at BrandonVestal on Instagram.
At BrandonVestal. And then do you have a website, just BrandonVestal.com or?
Yeah. And maybe I'll auction off my Bulls starter jacket if anyone is interested.
There you go. Shit, I might get in on that, man. I wouldn't mind having a
but just, buy condoms because you're going to need them. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
My wife's just banging at the door trying to get in here right now. She's never seen it before, so she just doesn't know what to do.
Man, please make sure the camera is off before you let her in.
Might have another baby next time we talk.
That'd be your quarantine. Everyone else will have a quarantine baby. You're like, no, that's my starter jacket baby.
It's pure starter jacket via 1995.
Well, it still looks good. So,
All right, man.
all right, man. Take care.
Good to
I'll
see you.
talk to you soon.
All right.